8:10.
Okay, got it.
8:10.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
So are we all in the shot?
We're all in the shot, right, Trevor?
Yep.
Okay.
So my worst side.
Now you tell me.
There's only two.
Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on RenegadeRadio.com. I am Dark Mark, the goth comedian, and unfortunately my co-host Hannah, get well soon, she's got the flu, can't be here, and it's too bad because this is quite a night. I'm staring right into the eyes of somebody, not a lot of people can say this, that changed an art form, changed the world of comedy as we know it, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about all sorts of things. She created the UnCabaret. Basically every comedian that you like, that you know, she probably gave them their starts. Beth Lapides.
Hey.
Hi Beth, how are you?
Hi, I'm Mark. Can I call you Mark or do I call you the Dark Mark always?
You can call me whatever you want, please.
Okay.
Call me whatever you want.
Mr.
Yes, Mr. Dark. Yes,
Yeah, Mr. Dark.
Or Mr. Mark.
Oh.
Whatever you would like. I've been in the same room with you at the same time,
Oh.
but I've never met you.
Oh.
And
What room is that?
it's a long time ago. It was I think it was the M Bar
Okay.
a couple times, and you were surrounded. You had a whole entourage. at one time.
Surrounded.
You were surrounded.
Surrounded by light.
You were
Your darkness couldn't penetrate.
Exactly. You're surrounded by all sorts of people. And before we get started, I mean, the Love Fest is going to go, but I do have to introduce you to our other guest. You know, like we're pretending like we didn't talk outside, but this is she's been a performer probably her whole life, I would say.
That sounds about right, yeah.
But now you're doing comedy. You're doing stand-up comedy now, and you've been a guest on the show 5 years ago.
Yes.
We had you on with a couple bodybuilders.
Yes.
And you impressed them with your flexibility. This is Ruth Noemi.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
You did, actually.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. The first time this week that someone got my name right.
I know. I've been practicing. Before we get started, a couple sponsors, and then we've got to pay the bills. I have a couple sponsors and a couple announcements I do want to make, which is going to really make things really dark, and then we're gonna head over. So, first off, Audible. If you go to Audible, you put in Beth Lapides, you get like 100 things. You're all over Audible.
Well, you know, girls gotta do.
So if you're intrigued after hearing this podcast, and I know you will be, go there. There's all sorts of just UnCabaret all over the place. There's actually Ruth, I would suggest this for you. There's a show, and I want to listen to this myself, and I'm driving to Vegas, so I probably will listen to it on the way. Writers from Sex and the City.
Yes. Oh, that was a great night.
That were at the UnCabaret.
That was a great night.
Also, your two
That was in New York, actually.
Was that?
At the Knitting Factory in New York.
Okay. And also the two CDs that I remember buying in the record store when they had record stores and CDs.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the titles off the top of my head, but
Well, there was one called Freak Weather Feels Different. That was our original.
Right. That one I.
Then there's The Un and Only.
Right. I remember those very, very well. They're on Audible now. You don't have to go to the record store and buy a CD. But also other comedy albums. They have Carlin Classic Gold. I paid $25 for that in a record store. If you want it free, any comedy album or any book. They have Stephen King books. They have a radio play of Dracula with Alan Cumming, Tim Curry, and an all-star cast. They got everything on Audible. They've got Tiffany Haddish came out with an autobiography. If you're into that, whatever you're into, nonfiction, fiction. Hillary Clinton's book. You want to read that? You want to listen to that? Listen to that. Whatever. Go to audibletrial.com/DMS. Once again, audibletrial.com/DMS. Free book and a free 30-day trial. If you don't like the book, you can return it and get another book. But I bet you don't. Because Audible's great. I'm driving to Vegas this weekend. I'm going to listen to a bunch of audiobooks. Also, Hillary's Vanity. You know Hillary's Vanity.
Oh yeah, she's lovely.
Hillary
delicious
makes the
clothes.
best goth clothes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
That's okay. I was saying she makes delicious clothing.
She does. She has goth clothes from extra small to 4X. She's got stuff that fits me. It's amazing, and she's so great. She just opened a. Have you been to her store in Hollywood Way in Burbank?
Her boutique? Not yet.
1018 Hollywood Way, Burbank, right across from Porto's. Look for the parasols and the weird goth people, and you'll see Hillary's Vanity. If you're not in LA, hillary'svanity.com. Also, a couple notes. First off, Ben Graves, a friend of the goth community, passed away, and I didn't know him that well. I met him a few times, and he was a cool guy, so I didn't want to, God rest his soul, on the air. Also, my friend who has cancer, he's the nicest man in comedy, Ryan Talmo. Don't let him slip away. He has a GoFundMe. Have you met Ryan Talmo?
Possibly.
Valley Jesus?
I'm really bad with names, but
The guy who looks like Jesus that hangs out in the valley?
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Beth will tell you that when I say this man's the nicest man in comedy, I'm damning him with faint praise, but he really is a genuinely nice guy. He's going through a hard time. Go to his GoFundMe page and give what you can. When I get paid, I definitely will. Please, everybody on the show, do what you can to help this guy. All right, now that we've got death and cancer out of the way, Beth Lapides is here.
Well, hi again.
Yes. Ruth, I gotta tell you, there was a time when comedy wasn't cool.
Really?
Am I wrong?
It was awful.
What was so awful about it in your mind?
Everything.
Yeah?
Everything except the laughing.
Yeah.
Everything. Because I came from the downtown New York performance art world,
Right.
which is a little too cool. And I was like,
You think so?
Well, this was like a little much. But I loved it, and I loved it, but I just thought, this can't be your whole life. You're gonna, you can't just stay in this little bubble for the rest of your life.
Now this is like the late 80s, right? Or early 90s?
Sure, let's say it's the late 80s.
I'm sorry,
or perhaps the late 70s. But no, it wasn't.
Well, let's
it
say,
was the early 80s.
Eric Bogosian,
Yeah, in
Spalding
that time.
Gray.
They came a little before me, so I sort of entered into that milieu.
Okay.
And
People sticking things up their asses, defecating on stage, bloodletting.
yeah, and I was touring, and I was getting grants, and I was going around the world, and it was amazing. But, then I was also getting funnier doing that.
Right.
And I thought I was walking in New York one day, and I was like, if I could do this, but be funnier, it's better. It's better to be funnier as a moral decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to try to be funnier. And then I also was thinking, the thing about life, and I'm in my early 20s at this point, I'm thinking the thing of life is you get older and then you get it. It's clear you just get it as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you had it when you were an infant, but then you lose it, whatever. And then you get it at the end and then you die. And I just thought, that's just it's either hilarious or horrible, or
right.
both.
Right.
But I was like, it's just reach for that. And even though I had grown up, doing art and, in the fine art world,
Right.
I just thought, this is really what I want to do. So I stepped outside of that performance art realm and went into comedy. This was in New York,
Right.
though, where there was still sort of a little bit of
I've done comedy on Long Island.
But this was in Manhattan, and it was
Right.
still in Soho, and then it was, clubs. There was New York. When I came to LA,
Right.
and I had to try to do comedy now in clubs in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't believe how the comedy world was still, and it was really how men and women are different.
Right.
How
Black people are like this, white people are like that. And,
just difference. It was a lot about
Yeah.
difference, and it was a lot of jokes, and it sounded just horrible. And I mean, there were no, and I would go back and forth from doing one-person shows to the
Right.
comedy clubs, and I wasn't really happy in either place.
Right, I'm curious. Well, what would an early performance art piece by Beth Lapides be?
I did a sequence of shows that I toured. The last one was called Globomania, and it was about it was sort of central idea of we're all going crazy, but there was the idea that the globe, which we were trying to save, was now being used in advertising for, the things that were destroying it.
Okay.
In